Hi.
Hello. Hello. How's everybody doing?
Hi. Hi.
Good.
Good. So we have with us on today, we want to welcome everybody that has tuned in to Daughters of the King. We're very excited to be with you today on this beautiful day of Valentine's Day as we celebrate love. That's right. We're celebrating love. And we know that God is love and love comes from God. God is all about love. So we're going to talk about love on this day, what love is, how we define it, and the purpose of it, the goodness of it. Are you guys excited?
I am excited.
Hi.
I
I
am so
totally am. I'm
excited.
all off guard, but
All
hey,
things love.
yes,
Yes.
all things are working together for the good, and we're excited about it. I know I am. I'm very excited, and I thank everybody that has tuned in for tuning in. I'm trying to get this angle right, so I'm not giving you guys too much face. You know what I mean? Okay, so we have with us on today Mrs. Venus Henderson Hughes. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, hi everybody. My name is Venus Henderson Hughes. I am the founder and CEO of Henderson Hughes Health H3P, as well as the founder and principal of VH Hughes Consulting. I am just happy to be here. I am thankful to be a part of all things love. I even
Yes.
have my what is it? Double R jury
Oh, that's
bracelet.
beautiful.
So we are celebrating all things love today.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. That's awesome. So we also have with us Miss Brenda McCoy. Brenda, tell us all about yourself.
Thank you, Jan. And thank you for having me with your team. My
Absolutely.
name is Brenda McCoy, and I am a domestic violence abuse survivor. And I want to share with you parts of my story and let you know that somebody does love you. And the main person is Jesus.
Come on
And
now.
through me, I want to show you his love because that's what he's taught me about love is the love that he's shown me. And that's what I want to shine. I want to shine for Jesus. And that's what my love is
Amen.
all about.
That is so
So,
awesome. That is so awesome. We might have someone joining us later, Miss Cheyenne Williams. She's running a little behind. And if she can't make it, we'll just kind of do our first show without her. But she is a part of a Better Way ministry as well. She is a over the children's ministry, Angel Bear. We'll be learning more about him as we go on. But again, we thank you for our first broadcast of Daughters of the King. We are all daughters of the King if we love the Lord. And it doesn't matter what you're going through, how single you are, what your relationship is. God is love. And one of my favorite scriptures that I'm celebrating on today is Jeremiah Jeremiah 31:3, where God says that I have an everlasting love for you. Isn't that exciting to know? I
Yeah.
mean,
amen.
seriously, an everlasting. I mean, it doesn't end,
Yeah.
right?
Amen.
We serve a
Again.
God who is love. Scripture teaches that He is love and that He loves us. It
Yeah.
Yes.
says it.
Amen.
Love.
Yeah.
We're doing it on today. So we're going to talk about the definitions of love and the different types of love as we break it down. Normally, what we'll be dealing with is healing scriptures. For people that have been through trauma and family violence. Basically, we're going to be dealing more with healing scriptures. But on today, we're going to take time and go through what love is as everybody's celebrating Valentine's Day. You know, the ultimate Valentine is the Lord. But we are going to talk about the definitions of what love is so we can understand that. And then we're going to deal with love languages and then finally green flags of love. We talk about red flags in domestic violence, but let's do some green flags. You know, there's some positivity that comes in a life after abuse, right, Miss Brenda?
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Life
definitely.
can get good. It can get really,
Definitely.
really good.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about again the different definitions of what love is. So who wants to start this off?
I will start.
Oh,
So, one of the loves that I know about up close and personal is pragma love, and that is a love that grows as time goes on. And it's
amen.
it's But all I could think of is the whispers. It just gets better with time.
Ooh,
That just stays in my head. It just gets better with time. And I feel that every day. I've been married for 23 years, and
man.
my husband and I were friends first. And so that love of my friend and now my husband, it just keeps getting, what is it? It just keeps on getting better.
Oh, girl.
Keeps on getting better.
Celebrate that thing.
It's better with
Ah,
time. So definitely that type of love is one that is so sweet. And even in your discourse moments, because there are discourse moments in our marriage, and it's not just all roses and chocolates and candy. There's some thunderstorms and lightning as well. But even in that love still grows. That love still sustains you even in those off moments. And I can't say in the 23 years, I can't say there's been like a 10-year off-putting. It's definitely having that love to sustain you in those moments where it is off to be able
Yes,
to keep going.
absolutely. Absolutely. And you're talking about Eros,
No,
right?
I'm talking about pragma, the one that keeps lab. No, Eros is more of the romantic love.
That's what I was hearing when you were talking, because I
No,
saw some
no, I'm
Eros
talking
in
about,
that.
in the 20, I don't think we could have got to the 23 years without the pragma love. Eros got me in the thing, you know,
Okay.
Eros got me in there, but definitely pragma keeps me there,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
And speaking of
Absolutely.
Eros, talk about Eros, Miss Jan.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Eros? All right. That's where the root word erotic um, comes from, but we're not going to deal with that.
No,
We're
no.
going to deal with the Greek definition as we look at a romantic love. That's that love that leaves you warm and fuzzy, and that partnership, that one you get married on.
Mhm.
That love is a beautiful love to have. It is considered passionate. Um, Pleasure is an appreciation for one's physical being or beauty, and is driven by attraction and a longing for one another. It describes desire and obsession, and it's most similar to what we think of as a romantic, again, passionate kind of hot, crazy kind of love that you have for one another. So Eros is a definition of what you would have when you have intimate partnerships. So intimate partners, one-on-one marriage relationships, fiancés and boyfriends and girlfriends. That's where you would get that Eros from, and I'm loving it.
yeah.
All right, Deborah. Brenda, where do you want to go with this one?
I am going with Philatia, and
Okay.
that is self-love and self-compassion.
Okay.
And it is not something that came easily for me because of the atmosphere and the environment I grew up in. It
Right.
was, and I will a little bit later talk a little bit about my background, but in order to have a healthy love, you have to love yourself. You've
Absolutely.
got
Can
to
you repeat that?
know, in order to love, you have to love yourself first.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if you don't, you're going to keep attracting the wrong people, just like I did. That's what
Mhm.
happened. I didn't really realize my value and my worth. And it just took all these years before I finally figured out. I said, okay, God, I'm yours. I'm here. I give everything up. And it's just been me and the Lord for the past 4 years. And He's dealt with me and helped me and taught me what really true love is and how to love me. So if you self love is doing things that you enjoy just for you. I could go out and on Valentine's Day and treat myself and be happy now. I don't look for love in through somebody else, because I have to know my values. I have to know who I am and what I stand for. And when you do that, that shows other people that you have something that's worth, that they respect you for. So in the Greek definition of philatia is, it can be unhealthy, as I said, if you don't love yourself. And your self-esteem, you're going to have very low self-esteem, which I did. And nobody really saw it, I don't, from the outside, but inside of me was very broken. I was a very broken and hurt, wounded person. And it took years and years and years of past situations and past wrong decisions. And I don't want to put blame on anybody else, because I had to learn my own value. So that's what I feel is philatia, love. You have to learn to love yourself. And that's not being, and that's not being, thinking you're better than anybody else. It's not along that line. It's more of, I'm me, and I love me for who God made me to be.
Jan, you're on mute.
Mm-hmm.
I would be on mute. Okay. That's actually, you're actually in the Bible with that one. Because the Bible tells you to love God with everything you have, love yourself, and then you love your neighbor.
Mhm.
But where we miss it most of the time is we don't have that self-love. And then we find ourselves in these relationships that don't serve us any good, right? And they cause us pain. But once you value you, then you'll be able to value others after you value the Lord. So there is a process in love.
Yes.
It's not something I love and I feel it and I'm going to move on it. Sometimes you have to walk in wisdom as well. So one of my favorites is agape. Because of agape, I'm here today. I'm with you and I'm working with people like you, Brenda, because of what you've been through. Agape love is that love that you have that comes from God through you to you. See what I'm saying? It comes down, in, out, through. And I love God for that love because it's all encompassing, right? I don't have to necessarily like a person to love a person, right? It's temporary and it changes, just like happiness is temporary and it changes, right? Joy is always sustained. It's always there once you have it. It's important, right? So when we think of love and we think of it, the kind of love that God gives us, it's amazing how he allows us to love in different ways, in different people, different categories, and it all be good, right?
Yes.
God is just so good. So you have your different types of love, and then you have your love languages. And as we were talking about it yesterday, love languages are so important because when you understand, again, walking in wisdom, when you understand how to love what your partner is looking for in a relationship, right? If my love language is words of affirmation, I need you to tell me some good stuff, right? But if I have a partner that's, telling me negative things, because I'm sensitive and that's my language, that's what I speak, words of affirmation, and you're giving me words of negativity, words that are killing me, that's going to affect me and, hurt me down the path. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Very much so.
Going back to self-love, I think there are so many people out there who don't even know how to love themselves. And I used to be one of them. I think I couldn't even look in the mirror and like the person I used to see, And I remember when I was with Bally's, training at Bally's. And so my trainer would have me train in front of a mirror. And I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, so I refused to look in the mirror. It's like, I'm not gonna look in the mirror. He was like, well, why you not looking? I don't like what I see. And he said, but that's you. And he was like, you're beautiful, so why aren't you looking in the mirror? And I was like, I don't like what I see in the mirror. And now I look in the mirror all the time. Now I look in the mirror and I like Venus Henderson Hughes. I like VH Hughes. I like all of them. And, but it took a while to get there, and it's what you go through in the journey that sort of takes you out of that Self-love is one that allows you to get to other realms as well, other realms of love. You
Yeah.
know, as a parent, I don't think even when you become a parent, if you don't have self-love, you can't love that child the way you should.
Right.
No.
You can't embrace that child the way you should as a parent because you don't love
Exactly.
you. And that's part of you.
It
Yes.
really is. It really is.
So
A lot
true.
of people get stumbled because of what the world tells you. The
Mhm.
world tells you got to be a size 6, and you have to be this,
Yes.
you have to be that, and you have to have this nose, you have to have this kind of shape, and you have to have this and this kind of car, and this kind. All that stuff is crap.
Mhm.
If you have love that comes from within you, right, and it comes out to others, that is what really is the goal, because love is the most important thing, even as God says it. You know, the greatest gift is love. You can have all of these wonderful gifts, but if you don't have love, and even when you're doing service, let's say you're in ministry as I am, and Brenda, and you, because you know your stuff is services as well. You help with the health community.
Mhm.
But when we're out and we're doing our work, if we can do all the good in the world, but if we're hateful and we don't have love, genuine love, if we're not doing it out of our own self motivation, but doing it because we love, God said, anything that you do, you know, you just, you know, vain jangling, really,
Exactly.
right? It's nothing. It's moot. It means nothing. So love is so important, and it's a very important place to be when you've come out of abuse. It's a
Mhm.
very good place to be, because when you learn to love God, right, and accept the love that He has for you, because it
Mhm.
starts with it, because He first loved us, right?
Yes.
We didn't manifest that. He came with it, right? And when we accept His invitation of love, right, and then we
Right.
do that thing, we look in the mirror and accept ourselves, flaws and all. Man, I love me some me. I was at the
Exactly.
hair salon. I was gonna do the gold, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna let my wisdom shine today.
Exactly.
I was gonna put some color on it, and I might still do that. But today we're gonna do some wisdom. But you know, again, but that's some self-love, right? I
Right.
thank God to be where I am, right? I don't want to forever be 21. I'm sorry.
Amen.
When I was 21, to be honest with you, I was kind of dumb. I didn't know things. What I know
Yes.
today, this here is letting you know I've been around here a minute, okay?
Right.
I've experienced some things. So also,
Yes.
when I'm talking about love, I don't want to miss this one, and that's storage. I love my family. I come from a family that just absolutely exemplifies the word love on my
Oh.
mother's side and on my father's side. And then in my personal family, love is the thing that keeps us going. It keeps us bound. It keeps us there for one another. If one fall, we're all there for one another. And that's God's design for the family. But
Yes.
unfortunately, a lot of times people don't understand that love, that familiar love, that love for family, for brother, for sister, for mom, for dad, for aunties, for cousins. Family love. God put us together as a family. He knitted us together, but sometimes we're in unhealthy families, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure we'll learn more about that through your story,
Mhm.
Brenda. But we have unhealthy ties in our family. But if we
Mhm.
have that good thing going, there, I mean, it's limitless where you can go. Amen. We can
Yes.
go so far in God when we have that tie. So it's important in a life after abuse, if you're still in the childbearing age, to take the time to understand who you are, what moves you, what motivates you, you know, and what you want in your life. What do you want to leave for your children? A child growing up in a home that's abusive has a hard time when they get
Oh,
out in the world. Amen.
Yeah,
They
yes.
have a
you know,
very
Amen.
hard time.
I'm a witness to that. You know,
Yeah.
I went to live with my grandparents because of abuse,
Mm-hmm.
and I am thankful for their open door. I'm thankful
Mm-hmm.
for them stepping in and taking me away from that situation and loving me as theirs. And it also allowed me to do the same thing to my own grandchildren. So
Mhm.
they didn't go as far as I did as far as adopting me, but they were my parents. They were, you know, they were the ones that went to parent teacher conference. They were the, you know, so I still saw my mom. I still interacted with her every single solitary day. But I lived with my grandparents. And that's who took care of me. That's who fed me. That's who bathed me. That's who loved me. You know, my mom was not ready to be a parent. And it's okay. it is okay. When she left this world in my home. So there was no ill feelings there. I wanted to make sure that she was okay. Now for my Parenthood 2.0, definitely didn't think it was going to go all the way to adoption, but I'm thankful it did. I'm thankful that our yes allows them to be happy. And I
Yes.
see that every day and I hear it every day. So that kind of love where you can just open up and not give it a second thought as to how you're going to be affected. What do I have to give up, or the usual, what's in it for me?
Right.
That was not there. That was okay, these babies need, I got, and that's
Right.
all it was. And I know that's what they did for me. So it wasn't even a thought in my mind that I couldn't do the same thing for them. So, and was it 4 years? Yeah, not too bad.
That's
Great.
awesome. Yeah, and I look at the other love, Ludus. We don't want to miss that one.
Oh,
Uh,
Ludus.
that's that teenage love, the
Yeah.
puppy love, that infatuation, the fun and cute love. And it's something that I miss. I remember my teenage years and the first loves I've had, and the boyfriends and the cuteness of it. So we can use that in a lot of friendships as well. But go ahead.
Yes, yes. But I think Ludus love is definitely that precipice before you get to romantic love. It's
Yes.
that
The
flirty,
starter love. Yeah.
oh, I see him and oh my goodness, every time I see him, I feel the butterflies just going. But that still happens later on,
Yeah. The
still happens.
flirtiness. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
still
get
happens.
it.
That still happens. You still see, or certain scents bring that, to mind, and you just know. So it's not one that I can say that goes away. It's still there.
Mhm.
It's definitely something as simple as a smile across the room or that little wink that you get. So
Mhm.
yeah, Lotus Love is really a cute love, and it's interesting to see it so far down the line, but I think that goes with marrying in the pragma love as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then we can go to
Mhm.
Phila, where we get Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. We are practicing that right now through sisterhood, right?
Right.
That
Right.
that that friendship type of love, that I got you, a little deeper than a friendship, like a brotherhood, a sisterhood, which is what we have. Brenda, you want to talk about that? You've been a little quiet over there. We don't want to take it
Oh,
over.
I just don't want to butt in. I'm listening. As I
No.
was
Fine.
listening, I'm absorbing. I'm taking all the healing I can get. I'm here.
Man.
Um, I as I listen to Venus. If you don't care, if I would like to ask her, kind
Mhm.
how did you know? Because I'm in a lot of groups of hurt women, like very, very hurt women, and I'm in a lot of Christian women singles groups it's not a dating scene at all. It's just where women share their feelings about love, and they're waiting on the right person, but they want it to be from God because they have been broken, they have been hurt, they've been abused. So, what could Jan, you, through your experience, or Venus, share with these women that are watching? What are examples of true love with the couple, that maybe signs, things that let you know that that person was the one?
We're going to get to that at I think the third section, where we talk about
Okay.
green flags.
Mhm.
The green
Okay.
flags are where we're going to be looking at when you want to get into, you've been through what you've been through. You know all about the red flags now, right? So
Right.
get to the green flags, as we get down into the meat of it
Okay.
all. But right
Okay.
now, we're going to be dealing with what love is, because a lot of times people don't understand
Uh-huh.
something. It's easy to do, right? Because it's
Yeah.
just easy to
You
do,
do,
but you
and
got to understand that there's a method to it. you know?
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
I as far as the friendship and the, you know, I've had friends that God has weeded out of my life because they weren't, you know, for me.
Mhm.
And he has exposed people to me that he needed to get out of my life. So I have now have some very, very close knit friends, sort of like soul sister friends. Um, and they don't live close to me. And it was through my brokenness and through my groups that I met those ladies. And one is in Ohio and one is in California. One is in Maryland, and they reach out to me because I help them.
Mhm.
But I think through what I've gone through as being broken, they look. I can get the type of people in my circle that needs to be there, that
Mhm.
kind of friendship, that they're not out to hurt me, or they're not jealous, or they're not fake. God has weeded those people out of my life. So I'm very thankful for the friendships that I have now that are very healthy,
Mhm.
healthy friendships.
You know, and even in the bad
I'm sorry.
ones,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
even in the
But
bad
one thing that
ones,
came to mind was, I'm
hold on.
sorry.
Even in the bad relationship, I wanted to make sure I got this in.
Mhm.
Even in those bad ones, you know, as a survivor, Brenda, I want you to understand, even those bad ones still worked out for your good, right?
Yes.
So sometimes we have to experience jealousy, pain, betrayal, those
Yes.
kind of things, because it strengthens us and it helps us see things from a different perspective,
I do.
right?
Hmm.
And we have to always remember when we're dealing with people, I don't care
Hmm.
who they are, what they're going through. Some of them, I've met some nasty people, okay,
Yeah, me
in my
too.
lifetime. But I'll tell
Mm.
you, you never know what that person's story is.
That's
Like if
true.
someone met you, they wouldn't know your story until you told them. And
Hmm.
you might have some actions that make them question, well, what's going on with her? But they don't know your story. So we
Right.
have to always kind of look at every experience. I look at, even like I said, the ones that hurt me the most. I'm still thankful for it because
I am.
it strengthened me. God uses everything to help
Oh,
build you.
yes,
And it
definitely.
builds me and it makes me more sensitive to people like yourself, right?
Hmm.
That are hurt, because hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people.
That's just one of my favorite sayings, but it's the truth.
Hmm.
There's no other way to put it. You want to get upset with them because they are so nasty, but you got to understand somebody hurt that person down the line, right?
Yeah.
Somebody did something to them to make them that way. They missed something. They missed something. So they're coming at me like that. But when you have a strong sense of who you are, right?
Hmm.
You have a strong identity. It doesn't, you know, you let it go away. Now, when I
Hmm.
was, before I got to this, and it's only because of all of the hurt that I've been through
Right.
that made me more sensitive to people and to be more forgiving and more allowing and not rehearse it. I don't live there anymore, right?
Right.
I'm not there. I moved
Right.
on, right? I
Yes.
survived it and I'm going on. But I don't go back, visit it, sit down and eat popcorn and go over those things. I let
Right.
it go, keep it moving because there's new
Yes.
experience. And God
Yes.
is using us to grow us little by little by little by little. And even in those things,
Hmm.
even through the pain, we still got to count it all joy, right?
Oh, yeah.
When we
Oh,
fall
yeah.
into different situation or
Def-
diverse temptations,
Definitely.
as the scripture says it, count it all joy,
I
right?
agree.
You know, be thankful in all things. So even when I'm, like I said, when I've been hurt, the way that I get free is to forgive them and keep it moving. Because
Yeah.
my holding them in a cell and said they don't deserve my forgiveness, all I'm doing
Oh,
is keeping myself in a cage.
exactly.
I'm
Mhm.
like this. You can see the dove up there. I'm like the dove.
Uh-huh.
I like to
Uh-huh.
move. I like to fly. I like to
Yeah.
go. I don't need to be in anybody's prison, and I'm not
No,
going to. Right.
no.
So I've learned to, like to say, to love and let go. But you can only do
Yes.
that in the Lord. I'm just going to
Oh,
keep it there.
yes,
You know,
definitely.
for me and from my perspective and what I've been
Hmm.
through, because
Yes.
there's a choice. We make choices in life. You
Yes.
know, take for example someone that was kind of raised the same. They have the same things, but this person looks like they're winning in life, and this one isn't, right? So
Hmm.
this one's winning, this one isn't. And then this one's like, well, why does she have more than I have? And we have the same thing. We come from the same. Why does she have more? Why is God giving her more favor? Why da 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 da?
Oh,
But then you
yeah.
have to ask yourself, now, once you guys were raised the same, right? You're out on your own. You're making choices for yourself, right? Are
Right,
you making good choices? Are you making bad choices?
Mhm.
Right?
right.
Stop looking at me and look at you.
Yourself.
It's that
Exactly.
internal work, which we're going to be doing next Sunday. Our Bible study will be doing on God's internal work that we do on our
Mhm.
heart inside.
Uh-huh.
When you look, see, our eyes look this way, right? This is how we look. We look, from the outside. But sometimes we got to turn around and look inside our own selves. Look at
Yes.
the choices we've made, like some of the choices you've made to be in the relationship that you've been in that didn't turn out so well, right? Maybe some of the choices you might have made in business that didn't turn out so well.
I
Me,
but I've had
lots
a
of things
business.
I've done in my life that didn't turn out so well. But we have to understand, I have to kind of own that, right? And
Mhm.
then we want to get to a place where we're healed.
Oh,
We
yes.
don't want to walk around like a ball of hurt,
No.
right?
Mhm.
And it's not
That,
to devalue your hurt,
no.
right? I'm not taking that away from you. I know it hurt. I know it, and it still stings to this day, I'm sure. It brings, up a lot of emotions for you that are raw, but you have to get to a place as a survivor, to a place where you are willing to embrace the newness of the
Mhm.
freedom of life after abuse.
I want to say that for me to actually come forward as I'm doing today was a huge step
Yes,
for me.
I can imagine.
And what you see today would not have been what you would have seen several years ago. I wouldn't have been able to do it. So, yes, I can look at those people and say, thank you. You've
Mhm.
given me, I've learned lessons. It's given me wisdom, like you said about wisdom. It's given me knowledge.
Mhm.
What I grew up with to the point that I am now was for a purpose.
Mhm.
I believe from your mother's womb that God has something He wants you to do. And I believe I know that I was called for this. So He had me in all. I'm not saying that He's going to put anybody in a bad situation, abusive, but I can tell those that have been abused or are being abused now that with God, He protected me.
Mm.
I would not be alive today if He hadn't. And
Mhm.
so guard your heart. That's a
Yes.
scripture that was very important that I did not do.
Mhm.
I just
Mhm.
gave too much. And that's I I agree with everything you're saying, and I am absorbing everything that you and Venus
Amen.
are saying too. And I love to see a relationship of 23 years. They're still in love. They still have the butterflies. It just really is something that everybody wants.
Absolutely. You want to have that good life partner. And,
Mhm.
and again, back to where you are
Mhm.
going to be doing a new book, right? You're in the process of writing a book about your life experiences. And we're going to hear your testimony next week.